Good morning, students. Today it's our third lecture of chapter electric circuit, chapter number 6, electric circuit. Okay, yesterday we have started a new topic, that is your Wheatstone bridge. Okay, and in that I have explained the entire process, the entire working, construction, the principle, circuit diagram also of Wheatstone bridge. Even we have just calculated a balance condition also in Wheatstone bridge, and through that balance condition we have just be able to calculate the value of unknown resistance. Okay, now our today's next topic of the same Wheatstone bridge, and even that yesterday I have just been given you a question that you have to solve, acquire the value of unknown resistance by solving a Wheatstone bridge using the Kirchhoff's law, the voltage law. I hope you all have tried to solve that question, that derivation. Now today I am going to start with that only. Okay, this is our next topic, that balancing condition of Wheatstone bridge using Kirchhoff's law. Now this is your Wheatstone bridge. Okay, four resistances are there, P, Q, R, S. Okay, now through A or C terminal I am just be giving you in a brief introduction which we have studied yesterday. Okay, so between a terminal A and C, a cell of EMF E is connected, key K1 is connected. So this AC is known as cell arm. Okay, now from A there are four resistances are there, P, Q, R, S. P, Q are in series combination, R, S is in series combination, and these two series combinations are parallelly connected to each other. Okay, now P and Q are termed as ratio arm. The arm AD having a resistance R, which is your non-resistance, so AD is termed as your non-resistance arm. DC is having the S resistance that you have to be calculate. It's your unknown resistance, so this arm is known as your unknown resistance arm. The BD, in which a galvanometer and a key K2 has been connected, so this is your galvanometer arm. When we have just be created first case which we have taken, that you have to imagine that the potential at B is greater than potential at D. Now the current which is coming from A to B is your I1. As it reaches here, it has been bifurcated into two parts. Sum of the amount of the current passing through the galvanometer, Ig, and the remaining from this Q resistance. VD is having a less potential as compared to VB. So as the current Ig is coming from this arm, then I2 has been add up and going through the arm DC. Okay, as both the resistances currents are coming at point C, they will be add up, and the remaining again the I is coming through this circuit. That was the entire discussion which we have done yesterday, and even we have calculated the balance condition. For that we have just been imagined that the potential at both the points B and D, the VB and VD, are equal to each other. Okay, so if they are equal to each other, then not even a single amount of current is passed through this galvanometer arm. So if the no single amount of current is passed, the galvanometer will show no deflection, gives no deflection. That was your null deflection, or we can say a zero deflection. And this method, this conditions known as your balance condition. And at this condition, the ratio of the ratio arms are equal. P upon Q equals to R upon S. That is the things which we have discussed yesterday. Now for the 2 days, what we have to do? We have to apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law, KVL. Okay, so start applying that KVL. Let the current in the galvanometer be your Ig, and its resistance is G. Okay, just take its resistance as a G. Okay, now here two loops are there. First one is this and second one is this. Okay, now you are applying a KVL. Now what you have to do? First, in the loop you are applying the KVL in loop A, B, D, A. As we all know that the KVL is always be applicable in a closed circuit, in a closed loop. So A, B, D, A. Okay. Now the direction of the loop and direction of the current through the resistance P are in a same direction. So for the same direction, sign is minus. So minus I1 into P. Now direction of current through this galvanometer arm and the direction of loop is in the same direction. So the value will become in a minus form and resistance is here G. So minus Ig into G. Again for this arm AD, current is coming toward this way, loop is going on this way, both are in opposite direction, so the value will be in positive plus I2R. There is no any cell is connected in this loop, so equals to 0. Equation number 1. Okay, again I am repeating beta that when the directions are same of the loop and the current flowing through the resistance, then value will become in a minus form, and if direction is opposite, then the value will become in a plus form. Okay, equation number 1. Now discuss about the second loop. Loop B, C, D, B. Okay, remember when you are applying the current, the key is closed. Okay, otherwise it will be your open circuit and KVL will not be applied in open circuit. Okay, now loop 2 B, C, D, B. Now direction of the current and direction of the loop are in the same way, then value will be in minus I3. I3 is having a value I1 minus Ig. So minus I1 minus Ig into Q. Now in this DC, direction of loop and direction of the current is opposite to each other, the value will become in plus I2 plus G into S. Again the direction of a current and the loop is opposite to each other, Ig plus Ig into G. In this loop also there is no any cell is connected, battery is connected, so there will be no EMF, equals to 0. Okay, two things. First, for the same direction minus sign should come, for opposite direction plus is to become. Clear? These two equations are there. Now when we discuss about the balance condition means beta VB is equals to VD. Okay, then in this condition your Ig is equals to 0. Ig is equals to 0. First of all, when we are applying all these value, what we have taken? We have taken that VB is greater than VD. Then only this I1 minus Ig and I2 plus Ig is possible. Now when we are discussing about the balance condition, then VB is equals to VD, means Ig is equals to 0. Just put the value of Ig equals to 0 in these two equations. What you get? For equation number 1, minus I1P minus Ig value is 0. So its entire term minus Ig into G is your 0. Plus I2R equals to 0. So minus I1P plus I2R equals to 0. Evaluate this, then I1P is equals to I2R. Equation number 3. Okay. Now again we are just get through this equation number 2, that minus I1 Q minus I1 into Q, minus plus Ig into Q. So Ig is your 0 for the balance condition. This term will become 0. Okay. Plus I2 into S plus I2 into S. Plus Ig into S. Ig is your 0. Okay. Plus Ig into G. This will be also 0, equals to 0. So the remaining term is minus I1Q plus I2S equals to 0. Okay. Then evaluate this. Which equation you got? So the equation will be I1Q is equals to I2S. Equation number 4. Okay. Now what you have to do from equation 3rd and equation 4? Which equation we get? We have to take the ratio of equation number 3 and equation number 4. Means divide equation 3 by equation 4. Then I1P divided by I1Q is equals to I2R upon I2S. I1 and I1 cancel out. I2 and I2 is cancel out. The remaining term is P upon Q is equals to R upon S. This is your balance condition. This is the balance condition of Wheatstone-Bridge. Okay. So we have done, we have acquired both the balance condition situation with both types. First, by normal evaluating about the potentials, and second one through the KVL, Kirchhoff voltage law. Okay. And if in the exam the questions has been come according that you have to be solve the value of unknown resistance in a Wheatstone-Bridge by Kirchhoff voltage law, then you will be apply the second method, otherwise the first method. And if nothing has been written, then simply you have to do the question or calculate the value of unknown resistance in the Wheatstone-Bridge. Then please give the priority to the KVL. Okay, because this one is priority basis derivation. Okay, so you have to give the priority to this, because in this we have just applied the condition Ij equals to 0 and solve all the terms. Okay. Now on that Wheatstone-Bridge we have start the next topic. Our next topic is meter bridge. Okay. So in the meter bridge, what is a meter bridge means, and on which principle does it based or exist, and why the name come across to us, its name is meter bridge. So why this name is only given to this device or this equipment. Okay. So what was this? Meter bridge is based on the principle of Wheatstone-Bridge. Okay. On which principle the meter bridge is based? Wheatstone-Bridge. Meter bridge is a device which consists of a 1 meter long resistance wire with uniform cross section area. Okay. That's why its name is meter bridge, because in this meter bridge device we are consisting of 1 meter long resistance wire. The length of the wire is 1 meter. That's why its name is meter bridge. Okay. And the cross section of this wire is uniform. Okay. Now it is used to determine the unknown resistance. As usual, that it was based on the principle of Wheatstone-Bridge. It means it have to be calculate the value of unknown resistance. Now let's move toward the circuit diagram of Wheatstone-Bridge. Okay. Now this is the circuit diagram of your meter bridge. Clear? I'm explaining you, even just be understand this topic clearly, because meter bridge is also be a part of one of your experiment. Okay, in the practical also. Okay, and even the 3 types of practicals are performed in this experiment. One is you have to be calculate the value of unknown resistance. Second one, when the 2 resistance are connected in series combination, and third one when they are connected in a parallel combination. So regarding these 3 types of experiments are there in your practical also, in the physics practical. Okay, so just go through this. Now in the circuit diagram here I am just explaining you entire working and construction of this meter bridge. Okay, but I am not be writing this time the theory of meter bridge, because this is your homework. As I have explained you the entire process and working of the Wheatstone-Bridge, and even provide you the theory also. Now today only I am explaining you the working and construction. Theory you have to be write by your own. Okay, remember this thing. Clear? Now here, what's the first we are discussing about the construction. What's the construction? A 1 meter long constantan or magnet resistance wire is stretched between 2 screws A and C. This wire is made up of which material? Constantan or we can say magnene. Okay, so a wire of a tungsten or magnene, a 1 meter long wire, as I just told you that the meter bridge, this name is due to, here we are consisting of 1 meter long resistance wire, and this wire is made up of tungsten or magnene. Okay, it is stressed between the two screws A and C. Clear? Now, a 1 meter scale is also fixed over a wooden board. This is entirely has been set up on a wooden board. This setup, okay, here to here. This is a setup at the wooden board. This you have to be connected. Okay, this is already set up. So here a 1 meter scale is connected. Okay, fixed over the wooden board along with the length of the wire. This wire is of your 1 meter, and the scale is also be your in 1 meter, means 100 centimeter. This scale has been in a centimeter. Okay, this is your meter scale. Clear? Okay, now 2 L-shaped copper strip. 2 L-shaped copper strip. Now we just we give the name label this. Suppose this is your copper strip G, and this is your L-shaped copper strip H. Okay, so 2 L-shaped copper strips G and H are also joined with the screws A and C. Both are joined with the screws A and C. Okay, another copper strip is connected between the 2 L-shaped copper strip. Okay, remember this strip is of your copper. This is your copper strip. Okay, now there is one more strip is there, another copper strip. Now just we give this name to I, this copper strip name I. Okay, so that the another copper strip I is also be placed between the strips J and H. You have to be maintain a proper gap between all these strips. Okay, means between G and I and between H and I. Okay, you have to be create a proper gap. Now the unknown resistance S is connected across the I and H. There is your one resistance has been connected here, this one. Okay, so there is one known resistance has been connected, unknown resistance. Okay, this one is your unknown resistance has been connected. Okay, so this is the resistance box and this is your unknown resistance. As we have given in your Wheatstone base, this as a name S. So again here don't be confused, we are replacing this by S only. Okay, so the unknown resistance wire has been connected between the strip I and H. Clear? Okay, any doubt, any problem till here? Now what we have to do, a non-resistance box is connected across the strip G and I. This is your resistance box. We have to be pick out the key from the resistance box as much as we desire. Okay, so this was your resistance box. Clear? Now from screw D, a galvanometer G. Galvanometer is connected through a jockey. Okay, through a jockey, a galvanometer is connected which is sliding the wire AC. This galvanometer is sliding on the wire AC. Clear? So due to this, at the point of contact of the key B of the wire divides the wire into two arms, AB and BC. Okay, this is your jockey and jockey has been put on this wire. You have to be put the wire by picking it out. Don't slide the jockey on the wire because it will cut down the wire. Okay, so you have to be pick the jockey and put at a different position. At a particular position, suppose at point B, the galvanometer shows a zero deflection. There will be no deflection in the galvanometer. That point B is your balanced condition. Okay, so that point B has divided the arm A and C into two parts, AB and BC. Remember, this is your balanced condition. Clear? So your AB has been termed as L, the length which you are measured up to here through the scale, and the remaining will be your 100 minus L. BC is your 100 minus L. This is about the construction. Okay, now what was the working? In the gaps of the meter bridge, a resistance box is connected through G and B, between G and I, and unknown resistance has been connected between I and H. Okay, clear? All the nuts are there which has been connected tightly, because if any of the nut has been connected, not be connected tightly, then your reading will not be perfect. Remember this thing. Okay, now between A and C, one more Lakelanki cell has been connected, one rheostat is connected, and one key has been connected. Okay, clear? Now in between D and a B, where the balance condition we acquire, a galvanometer and a jockey has been connected. Okay, so this is the entire setup as similar as your Wheatstone bridge. Now, if you want to check the correctness of the connections, hold the jockey firstly near the point, okay, the end of the A, the meter bridge of the wire, and at the near the end of the C. Okay, what you have to do? First of all, you have to pick the jockey and keep it near the end of the A point, again at the end of the C point. You have to be put the jockey like this, not be like this and this. Okay, perpendicular to the wire. Okay, now galvanometer shows the opposite deflection. Suppose when you are putting the jockey at this point, galvanometer deflected on this direction. When you are putting the jockey at this point, galvanometer showing deflection in this direction. If at both the ends of the wire galvanometer shows the opposite deflection, it means your connection is correct. If in both the direction the same deflection is showing in a one direction, it means something is wrong in your connection. This is the way how you can check the connections of your circuit. Clear? Okay, so first of all you have to put the, with entire connection, you have to put the jockey here at the end of the point A, screw A. Suppose the deflection is been on this side, then you have to put the jockey on this point. Suppose on this time deflection is this side, it means your connection is perfectly correct. Okay, there is no any error. Clear? Afterwards, what you have to do, you have to be slide from this way, this side, because you see here the 0 point is there. You have to be what you have to put the jockey and press the wire like this, perpendicular. Suppose at a particular point a 0 deflection shows by the galvanometer, it means that point is your balanced condition, and from point A to B is your balancing length L, and the remaining length is your 100 minus L. So just we take the one reading. Now again choose any of the resistance from the resistance box. Again slide the jockey, put the jockey on this wire. Then you will get the another deflection balance condition, and that will be your second reading when you are doing the experiment. The same process you have to be repeat again and again. At least the 5 readings you have to calculate. This is all about the practical experiment. Here in the theoretical, what you have to do, you have to just write all the things. Firstly, the deflections is correct or not, connection is correct or not. Then put at particular point. If the deflection is 0, that will be your null deflection. Which deflection, beta? Null deflection means 0 deflection. And on this time, this was your balancing length L, and the remaining one is your 100 minus L. Okay, clear? It means here the position B is your balance condition of the Wheatstone bridge. Now at point B, if it is shows the 0 deflection, then the part of wire AB works as a resistance P. Remember, P upon Q equals to R upon S. So your P will be your L. The part of wire AB works as resistance P and the part of BC is works as resistance Q. Okay. So here P upon Q is equals to R upon S. Let the point B is at distance L. Okay, means the point B is a distance L, whatever be the distance. Okay, you have to measure from that meter scale. From the point A, okay, let P is your L centimeter and Q is your 100 minus L centimeter. Put this value in this. R is your resistance box, S is your unknown resistance. So L upon 100 minus L. What you have to do? You have to calculate the value of unknown resistance S. So S is equals to 100 minus L upon L into R. This is how you can calculate the value of unknown resistance. Your S is your unknown resistance. Okay, I hope you are able to clear this. Okay, I'm just be giving you the normally a brief description about this this circuit diagram again. Here first of all we take a 1 meter long wire which has been traced between the screw A and C. Okay, and with this a meter scale has been joined of the same length. It was of the 100 centimeter. Okay, then from point to L, copper strips, L-shaped copper strips are connected through A and C. Okay, L-shaped copper strip. Why you have just taken the copper strip? Because copper strip is having a less amount of resistance. Okay, because as the current starts to flow from this direction, resistance will be there. It will not be give us the proper value, as they are having a resistance but not be at much quantity. Okay, and as we know that the copper is your metal, so metal is having a malleable property, so they will be converted into a thin shape also. Okay, so the wire is of your Constantan or Magnene. Copper strip, L-shaped strips are connected through screws A and C. Okay, between the L-shaped strip G and H, one more plain strip has been connected. That was your I. This is also of your copper. Okay, the gap should be there. Okay, through which we have connected. The equal amount of gap should be there. At strip between G and I, resistance box had been connected, through which we can calculate, we can pick out the desirable resistance. Between I and H strip, there will be one unknown resistance S is connected, whose value we have to be calculated. Okay, one more screw is there, D. Through this we have just be attach the galvanometer, and through the galvanometer a jockey. Jockey is a device through which a deflection should be measured. It will be like a pen type structure like this. Okay, when the school will open, I will show you how the jockey looks. Okay, from the physics lab. Now this is the jockey J. Okay, now here the wire through A and C we have connected. This is your primary circuit beta. This is your cell of Leclanche cell of EMF E, rheostat H, a variable resistance, and a key K is connected. Okay, this is your entire construction. Now if you want to check whether your connection is perfectly correct or not, what you have to do, first you have to put the jockey at the end of the screw A of the wire. Suppose the deflection shows by the galvanometer in this direction, in this way. Then again you have to put the jockey on this another end. Then the jockey will showing in this direction. If the jockey will show at both the ends in opposite direction, it means your connection will be perfectly correct. If the same direction is shown, it means something is wrong, went wrong with your connections. Okay, and most important thing is that you have to be tight the screw. Don't loosen the screws. Okay, the connection should be perfect. Now as you have just be close the key, switch on the key, pick one of the resistance from the resistance box as much as you desire. Now you have to be put the jockey at different position. At particular position, suppose that the galvanometer shows the zero deflection, or we can say null deflection. It means that point will be your balance condition. Here I am just be taking B point, so B point is your balance condition. Okay, don't slide the jockey over the wire, it will cut down the wire. Okay, so this length is your L and the remaining will be your 100 minus L. Remember, this length will come across to you in centimeter. Okay, so this L is to be termed as your P and 100 minus L as your Q. Now as we already have the ratios, that is your P upon Q equals to R upon S. So P means L upon Q, 100 minus L equals to R is your resistance box, as you have to be calculated. So your value is 100 minus L upon L into R. Clear? This is how you have to be write the theory, the construction and working of this meter bridge. Okay, I am not be writing or giving you the theory. This you have to be do by your own. This is your homework. Clear? Now move further. Now let's talk about our today's homework. The first question is, in an experiment of meter bridge, a resistance of 8 ohm is taken out from the resistance box. Means you have just be taken out the 8 ohm resistance from the resistance box. This is the value of your R. To get a null deflection position at 45.5 centimeter. This is your L. Okay. So what you have to calculate? You have to calculate the value of unknown resistance. You have the value of R, P, Q. You can easily calculate 100 minus L. You have to be calculate the value of S. Okay. Now second, what you have to calculate? New balance length of interchanging the position of resistance box and unknown resistance. You have to be interchange the value of unknown resistance and the resistance box. Then which answer you will acquire, what will be the new balance length. Okay, this you have to be give the answer, calculate. Okay, now second, explain the working and construction of the meter bridge. This you have to be right. Okay, the working and construction of the meter bridge. I hope you are able to understand this experiment, this topic, meter bridge. Remember, this is the important topic. Okay, the meter bridge. Even this topic has been included in your practical also, and 3 practicals are based on this topic of meter bridge. One in which you have to calculate the unknown resistance. Second, 2 unknown series combinations are connected, and in a third, 2 unknown resistance are connected in a parallel combination. Okay, so like this your practicals will be there. So you have to be write the theory of working and construction of the meter bridge. Okay, thank you. That's all for today.